Chapter 8. Danger in the Alps. "Don't move!" It was Gutterman's voice, trembling and filled with fear. "Don't even breathe!" All 4 passengers had good reason to obey the order because the car had gone partially through the guardrail and it was teetering over the cliff. Its right rear wheel hung out in space and the left one was poised on the very edge. "Let's get out of here!" Berger cried, starting to climb out on his side, which was safely on the road. Guterman stopped him with a snarl. "If you lay 1 foot on the ground, I'll make you wish you were never born." "But what can we do?" Berger whined. Guterman pondered the question carefully. "It seems to me that you and I can't get out because the weight of our friends in back will then topple the car right over the edge." "You could open the back door on your side, Herr Berger. Just push the switch and unlock it, and Ned and I will get out slowly. Then you can get out too," Nancy said steadily. "No, you don't," Gutterman responded. "You 2 might make it and Berger could jump. With all the motion, the car would go over and take me with it." "Well, you can't get out on your side," Nancy pointed out. "You'd step into space just as I would." "No," Guterman decided. "This is what we will do. Both of you should move as far over to the left as you can. I will climb over Berger and stand on the running board. Then, Berger, you start it up and see if the 4-wheel drive can pull us out of this." "Wait a minute," Ned protested. "If that doesn't work, you and Berger can jump free, but Nancy and I will go over the edge with the car." "How clever you are," Guterman sneered. "You do catch on quickly. That should make you both want to hug the left side of the car with all your might." With no other choice, Nancy and Ned flattened themselves against the left side. The car tilted and rocked slightly. "The worst is yet to come," Nancy breathed through her almost clenched teeth. "When that big galump Guterman tries to crawl over Berger. If he makes 1 slip, we'll really rock." "Don't think about it," Ned said. "Just squeeze yourself against this door." Holding their breath, they froze as Guterman, with surprising grace, managed to climb over Berger and out onto the left running board of the car. He hung off as far as he could, bearing his weight down fully, then told Berger to put the car in gear. Berger did as he was ordered. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the big brown car began to move, its left rear wheel sending some gravel and rocks into the valley as it slipped slightly. The whole car tilted and, with a soft lunge, pulled up until the right rear wheel spun into contact with the ground and rolled to safety. "Masterful driving," Guterman said, patting his henchman on the shoulder. From the back seat, neither Ned nor Nancy let up on their tormentors. "Oh, masterful," Nancy said. "Wasn't it, Ned?" "Wonderful. Almost as good as the way he was driving when he went through the guardrail." The 2 young people strived to make their captors so angry that they would open the back door to get at them. Nancy's plan could then be activated. While Ned attacked, she would fire her tear gas book, and perhaps they could finally escape. But Guterman and Berger were in a self-congratulatory mood. They even began singing as Berger continued to take the car higher into the mountains, this time at a more reasonable speed. After several hours of driving, however, Berger pulled the car off on a dirt road and drove to what appeared to be a shepherd's hut. He stopped about 100 feet away and turned around, almost backing over an extremely steep gorge in the process. Nancy gulped again. "I don't know what they're going to do to us, Ned, but whatever it is, it has to be better than being locked in a high-powered automobile driven by Herr Berger." "Absolutely," Ned concurred. "But what do you suppose they have in mind?" The young couple soon found out, as both Berger and Guterman got out and walked around to the right-hand back door. "Now!" Guterman rasped, as he unlocked the door with one hand, while keeping the other thrust threateningly in his coat pocket. You get out, Miss Drew. And you, Mr. Nickerson, you stay far over on the other side of the car if you know what's good for you." Ned glanced down at Guterman's pocket. Was there a gun inside? He wondered. Reading Ned's mind, the girl detective cautioned him. "Don't do anything, Ned, please." "Where are you taking her?" the young man demanded. Guterman flashed his evil smile, but said nothing. When Nancy got out, the door was shut and locked. Ned was left alone, helplessly watching the two men lead Nancy toward the shack. But as she entered what appeared to be a crude building, she was amazed to find it beautifully cozy with sparkling waxed floors, a cheery fireplace, a pretty rug, and upholstered furniture. "Being a shepherd must pay very well," Nancy murmured, gesturing at the expensive furnishings. "But the shepherd doesn't own this anymore, does he?" she added, looking hard at Guterman. "The wolves have taken over." Guterman shrugged. "Wolves, sheep. I have no time for your small talk, Miss Drew. Let's get down to business." "Excuse me," Nancy said, "but it was a long drive up here. Do you have a powder room where I could freshen up a bit?" Guterman pointed to a door at the far end of the room and, with an expansive bow, indicated that Nancy would find what she wanted there. "Will there be a window?" she wondered. "If so, will it be big enough for me to squeeze through?" Her experienced eyes roved over every inch of the cottage, searching for something, anything, that might produce a way out of the trap. Once inside the bathroom, she saw there was no lock on the door. Obviously, Herr Guterman had used this building for previous interrogations and didn't want his prisoners to lock themselves in while they plotted their next move. Glancing swiftly around, she discovered a window, but unfortunately, it was high up and much too small even for a willowy 18-year-old. After splashing water on her face, she dried off with a towel and looked in the mirror. "Think, Nancy," she hissed. "Think! Don't just stand there." Back outside in the living room, she found Herr Berger busily making coffee while Herr Guterman lounged in a chair near the door. Apparently, Ned was still left behind in the car. Nancy noted quickly that the 3 windows in the room were all barred on the inside. Escape that way was impossible. Then she brightened. If escape through the window was impossible, then pursuit would be impossible too. If only she could slip outside and lock the door behind her. Guterman and Berger would be trapped. Herr Guterman was talking, babbling really, about his cleverness, and Nancy only half listened as she concentrated on escape. The door to the room was made of solid oak, but Nancy had noticed a peculiar feature. On the outside walls were 2 metal slots like those found on cattle cars. They were used to hold a 2x4 or other heavy piece of timber across the door. Normally, such a crude but effective lock would be put inside a door to prevent forced entry. But obviously, Herr Guterman found himself constantly in need of locking people in, not keeping them out. Hence, the door to the building opened outward and could be blocked easily by dropping a piece of timber in the slots. Instantly, Nancy flicked her eyes about the room looking for the timber to do the job. She saw it leaning against the door jamb. All she had to do was rise from her chair, pass Guterman, grab the timber, open the door, slam it, and then throw the timber into place across the door. She groaned inwardly. "I'll never make it," she thought. But then Herr Guterman said something that made her sit up straight. "Of course," the man purred. "It would be advisable for you to answer my questions very quickly and correctly. You see, we left the engine of the car turned off. Therefore, no air will be fed into the back seat. Poor Mr. Nickerson. Who can say how long he will last?" End of chapter 8.